What's up, super progressive? How are you guys doing today? First of all, thank you so much for the positive feedback on my first reaction video. That really meant a lot. That Saeed and Payless track was sick. And let's get right back to it. Today, I have to thank Mike Isai. I think I'm saying it right. You left an awesome recommendation. So stoked to go through it. Another track that I've probably heard, but off the top of my head can't, I can't think about what it sounds like, or I couldn't tell you what it sounds like. So stoked to give it a reaction, and that track is Killahurtz, West on 27th. Now, immediately, I don't even have to go to Discogs to talk about this. Even before the artist, this is a track that came out on Hooj Choons. And what does that mean? That just means you gotta trust that it's gonna be awesome, because for a long time, still crushing it today, but especially around 2000, Hooj could not miss, and you could go into a record shop and just pick one at random and trust that it was going to be an awesome track. And that's the kind of trust that I'm bringing to this reaction, because I just know this is going to be sick. First thing I'm curious about is, who is Killahurtz? So let's go to Discogs and let's do some research. All right, I pulled up Discogs, and it says that the members of Killahurtz are Lee Kenny, Lee Fredericks, Michael Park, and Nick Britton. So Michael Park is one half of duo Parks and Wilson, who also records as Tilt. And I think Tilt is Parks, or at one point was Parks and Wilson, and also John Graham, who is Quiver. So then Lee Fredericks, and Nick Britton are longtime production duo, recording under various pseudonyms. All right, so before we get into the reaction, I just want to go over two things. The first thing is that this track, West on 27th, was freaking massive. It came out in the year 2000s, and you have to look no further than going to Killahurtz and then going to appearances, albums. Look at this. Look at this. West on 27th, Seb Fontaine, Cream Resident. Seb Fontaine, Cream Resident again. Tall Paul, headliners. Steve Lawler, Home. Dave Seaman, Renaissance Awakening. Ferry Corsten, Trance Nation 4. And then Sasha and John Digweed on Communicate. This track was everywhere. These are some of the most celebrated mixes, of this year. And this track was all over it. And just look at this on Communicate, this 3 lineup of tracks: West on 27th by Killahurtz, then Slacker's Kingdom Come mix of Breeders' Tyrantanic, and then the Bedrock mix of Luzon's The Baggio track. Talk about iconic tracks on an iconic album. All right, now for the name of the track, because if you're a longtime fan, I know you know this, but for new listeners, this adds so much to the meaning of this track. West on 27th. What does that name mean? That name is the direction to Twilo. Okay, so you can see Twilo right here, just above my head in the top left corner, right on 27th Street on the west side of town. I can't even imagine what it would be like to be walking up this street and turn left on 27th. Okay, so this is where Twilo was, on West 27th Street, 530 West 27th Street. And I just can't think of all the clubbers, in the history of clubbing that have gone to Twilo in New York, who have had that feeling and that experience of actually going west on 27th. Super progressive reaction Killahurtz, West on 27th, A Tribe Called Killahurtz mix. Let's go. Oh yeah, this is awesome off the bat. I love how there's that like kick, all the sounds sequenced together at the same time. It's just so sick. Dude, why does it feel like I'm actually just listening to this walking to Twilo, and it's like that little boom. That little thing was like an echo you can hear from the club, from the street as you turn west onto 27th. I'm literally living this through the track right now. So epic. I can't even freaking imagine how exciting that must have been. Intro, amazing. Let's keep it going. Are you kidding me? Literally so epic. Phase-on sound system, this track. Are you kidding me? I would be just straight up evaporated. Oh my God, so awesome. Oh, it's so good because you know when a lot of the elements fade away and you just have the percussion and you're freaking in the rhythm, that's when you know the track has you. Are you kidding me? This is so sick. It's got that so it came out, right? When it came out, 2000, but it has that like when I hear that little sound, I think of, you know, I just associate that sound with James Holden's Balance Mix, which I think came out 3 or 4 years after. I mean, this song must have been on the forefront. I mean, you hear how complex it is and all these amazing sounds and how it's freaking moving around the headphones. Like, I just can't get over what this must have sounded like on the dance floor. All right, before the track goes into clearly what's about to be an epic phase, I just want to appreciate it for the simple things. Like, that grooving rhythm is really what it's all about for me. And I'm anticipating it's about to go crazy right now. But, you know, you could have had me right there for a half hour. Like, so sick. Okay, I'm gonna say one thing. So I love how they made that little part, like the deep, whatever bassy sound that was, same melody as the little doo-doo-doo-doo-doo that was at the beginning of the song. Goes to my point that I've always thought about, you know, Twilo, Doors of Twilo. I've always like, wow, you know, these doors are like the gates into heaven. You know, I'm listening to this song, though, and thinking about it for just 1 second. Much more accurate to say it's the gates into hell, and it's about to get crazy. All right, let's see where this track goes. You know, people, a lot of people tell me that the song started getting a little too long and honestly a little too epic. This shit could never be too long for me or too epic. I love the drama that builds with every track. Like, it literally raises the stakes of the track and raises the stakes of the experience. It's so awesome. Dude, what instrument or sound is that? It sounds like a didgeridoo or something, or like a freaking psychedelic flute. I don't even know. That shit is so sick. This is always my favorite part of a track. It's like that last 20%. Because first of all, or I guess last like 25%. First of all, you don't know if it's gonna build up to like a last crescendo or whatever, or if it's just gonna groove you out over 3 minutes. I have no idea what this is gonna do. I'm just thinking in the club too. It's not like it's guaranteed that the track is gonna play out. You hear that freaking riff and you're like, am I gonna hear this again? And it finally comes in again at the end. It's an iconic moment. It's so awesome. I get it now. All right, this is gonna fade out, but what just changed this track for me is thinking about that with that flute sound thing. It's like a call and response basically. It's like you know, like they react to each other. So sick, so creative. Just two sick sounds that would freaking destroy me on a speaker system. All right, well, thank you so much for listening to this with me. What a freaking track. 10 out of 10. You know this is getting bumped all week over here at Super Progressive HQ. And thank you guys for watching, and expect another video tomorrow. Peace.